Yuki fam, here we go with today's commentary video. Today we will be talking about the top 10 VR games and experiences for beginners based on articles and content creators that I have found out about while doing this video. Keep in mind there are some games for everyone on this list, and I have some criteria to go over. The criteria for this list is as follows. These are for those who are trying out VR for the first time in a gaming sense or in an experience sense. Games are free or games that cost less than $50, with some of them being on the MetaQuest Plus service are going to be included. Games are not social experiences like VR chat, rec room, and etc. are not going to be in here. The games that have to be a sit down and play, but also some of them can be stand up and play. The comfort level requirement has to be green or yellow on a low yellow. I will be showcasing red for intense, but that is for intro purposes and a case I'm going to be talking about later. No music games will be on this list, and that is because of copyright, especially if you're planning to be a content creator or streamer in VR. That includes Beat Saber. I did try out Beat Saber. It looks pretty fun, but I'm gonna tell you some of those tracks are copyrighted, so I'm not gonna mess with that. And there's an article by Tech Raptor, which we will put in the description, talking about more information about that. That was at the segment in 2019 with Jimmy Fallon. And I'm also not going to include first hands and first encounters. Those are games that are installed for the Quest, but these are tutorial games about learning how to use your hands and your controllers for the first time. So I'm not going to include those for that reason. The sources I got for this one are the Road to VR article, the Gamer, VR Man Cave, who is a content creator, and some Steam list. If you are interested in MetaQuest Plus, there is an $8 a month. It's $8 a month, but if you are a brand new MetaQuest 3 or 3S owner, you get 3 months for free, and you get Batman Arkham Shadow, another game that is actually valued at $50, and they offer games per month which can be redeemed as part of the package. And if you are a MetaQuest Plus subscriber, you can get games there as well at a discount. Some of the games we'll be discussing here will be on Steam and the Quest Store. Some of them will be on Steam only, and some of them will be on the Quest Store only. So pay attention to that. We're gonna get started with the list, but we have an honorable mention, and that honorable mention goes to Demio. And this is basically a tabletop experience like you would play D&D inside of VR and AR and MR. MR standing for mixed reality. You actually can play with spell cards as well. The MetaQuest store reviews call it a 4.7 out of 5, with 93% of the reviews saying delightful tabletop experience and totally awesome. The comfort level is fun, is green, and that is for fun and not a lot of moving. And if you want to play some D&D in VR, this game is for you. The regular price is $40 on the Quest store, but if you are using the MetaQuest Plus experience, it is redeemable for a limited time. And the reason why it's on an honorable mention is because it's cool to have D&D in VR, but the price is $40 if you do not have MetaQuest Plus. Now let's get to the actual list, number 10 to 1. And the number 10, I put Phantom Coverups. And I found this on the Gamer article. You can become a stealthy guy in a kayak while making sure not to be seen in this game. It's good for sit down and play action as you use your controllers for your weapons and for your virtual kayak. The MetaQuest store reviews are in, and it is 4.2 out of 5, with 79% of the reviews at 4 to 5 stores saying had a blast playing as well as good stealth game to play. The comfort level is medium or yellow or moderate, however you want to say it. And the reason for that is because it has a fair amount of moving around due to stealth gameplay. You must look around with your headset for enemies because they will hide. And right off the rip, you are moving around. Therefore, potential chance of motion sickness if you're not used to it. At number 9, I have Dash Dash World, and I found this about because of VR Man Cave, a content creator as well. And basically, it's Mario Kart for VR. You are in a kart racing with players or bots, and allows, but there is option to change for those prone to motion sickness. Reviews on Steam are positive, mostly positive in the last 146 reviews, with players saying closest thing to Mario Kart in VR, as well as unique races and tracks. The comfort level is medium, with players moving around since it is a card game. You are in a cart, and there are accessible options to help with motion sickness is available, which is why it's higher than Phantom Cover-Ups. There are some in Phantom Cover-Ups, but when I saw the video, you gotta have to find it right off the rip. Number 8 is Maestro, and I found this about because of Road to VR. This game allows you to unleash your inner music conductor in VR. Learn how to be a conductor with doing with motions in music, play and conduct songs in VR, and mostly a stand and play. So you are literally in VR a maestro, the one that does the whole wave action. The reviews on Steam are very positive in the last 52, and very positive overall, with players saying, quote, amazing rhythm game, or, quote, fun game to play. And an actual music conductor who played this is saying must play. The comfort level is green, meaning comfortable, with the hand action being feel like a maestro, and some looking around, but basically for notes and motions. That's all. Not too much in the way of physical moving, but in a way of just sit down, look around, and all that stuff. At number 7, we have The Room VR, a dark matter. You actually see me play The Room last year, but in a desktop form. This is in VR. The Room series, the puzzle within a puzzle game, is now in VR with The Room VR Dark Matter. Solve puzzles and uncover the mysteries of each puzzle. The reviews on the MetaQuest store are saying 4.9 out of 5, with 98% players of the saying the most enjoyable app and, quote, good puzzle game. Hard puzzles, but not enough to get frustrated with. The comfort level is green for comfortable, with people having to look around for clues for the puzzle, and the hand action grabbing pieces to the puzzle. Not too much movement, easy to get into, not too bad. Number 6, we have Bait, B-A-I-T, from Road to VR, and it's a game that allows you to feel like you're fishing by yourself or with a few buddies while having a cold one or beer. Okay, we're just doing that. It has mini games for you to play in addition to the fishing component. The reviews on the Meta store is a 4 out of 5 with 4 and higher at 65%, with players saying amazing game or good game to play with buddies. The comfort level is green for comfortable, feel like you are fishing without leaving your house, and real life movement without banging your table. Yeah. At number 5, we have Cooking Simulator VR from the gamer. Cook virtual dishes in this game using a virtual kitchen, utensils, and other means. A good game to play with sitting down and learning VR for the first time. With the price tag of $25, not too bad. Same reviews are saying with recent reviews saying very positive. Added overall adds very positive with players saying game is a lot of fun, while others are saying onions break the law of physics. The comfort level is green for comfortable, easy to grasp items, learn how to cook, and watch onions break the law of physics literally in VR. Don't do this in real life, folks. Onions will not break the law of physics. Price tag at $25. At number 4, we have Cards and Tankards from Road to VR. Card game that may remind players of Hearthstone and Magic the Gathering. Free game to play on Steam and Steam VR. Not too much motion, mostly a sit and play game. Play with friends or others online. Reviews on Steam, however, are mixed recently but very positive, mostly positive overall, with positive viewers saying fun game or something like chill game. The comfort level for this game is green for comfortable. Sit down and play cards, make friends, it's time to duel, basically. At number 3, we have a double feature for the first time. We have Fruit Ninja VR and Fruit Ninja VR 2 from various sources. The first one is $15, the second one is $25. Take the classic Fruit Ninja game comes to VR for the very first time. Take your controllers and slice fruits like a Fruit Ninja you are in Fruit Ninja VR 1, and take it to the next level with friends in Fruit Ninja VR 2, as you battle it out for Fruit Ninja supremacy. Reviews from the MetaQuest store are 4 out of 5 for both games, with Fruit Ninja VR 1 saying fun for the whole family, and for number 2, we have amazing VR experience. The comfort levels for both games are green for comfortable, with people saying it's the first Fruit Ninja in the VR. Want to slice some fruit? Play this. Easy to play, mostly no movement needed. Number 2 on the list is Tabletop Simulator VR, with various people saying that this is on their top 10 to play to start. Make your own board games and even play made some from the community. It's always game night in Tabletop Simulator. At $20, that's not bad. Steam reviews are saying overwhelmingly positive, with players saying best tool to make your own board games to play. Do note that making your own custom content requires you to learn some modeling, scripting, etc. The comfort level is green, based on the community. For the comfortable, meaning grab things with the controller, play D&D and hear boys, good with friends, movement only needed if you wish. Just note that if you want to play your own custom games or you want to make your own, you must learn how to actually script. So there will be some programming experience required if you are planning to make custom content. Otherwise, everything is in there right off the rip. And the number one game to start when you are playing in VR for your first time is Walkabout Mini Golf. And I think a lot of people saw this coming. For a price tag of $15 or free on MetaQuest Plus, play mini golf in VR without leaving your house. One of the cheaper games to get as a beginner. MetaQuest store reviews with a 4.8 out of 5 with 96% of the reviews saying, my favorite VR game of all time, and best golfing game. The comfort level of this game is green, for comfortable meaning it's mini golf at home. Feel like you are at the golf course with controllers as the putters. Movement only needed for looking at the course, literally. So now I want to talk about the list in general because I had to do a lot of rearrangements. Things to remember about this list in general. The list is accommodating those who are really new to VR and are trying to get to use a headset for the first time to play a game or dive into an experience. The list is based on several internet articles, content creators, and other sources, but it is arranged in an order based on how I feel players should choose their first game or experience. Now, you may be wondering, why is Tabletop Simulator on here and not VR chat? Because both games have a social experience. Both games have a game inside of a game. Well, Tabletop Simulator has a few advantages that we need to talk about. The first advantage is the comfort level, as mentioned. Tabletop Simulator has a green one, meaning it can be played seated and you don't need to move much. You are literally imagined a table in front of you playing D&D, playing poker, roulette wheel, whatever, custom games. It's easily accessible and you can get them from the Steam marketplace or wherever you get your tabletop simulator in. Okay? And you can play with friends immediately. You don't need to do anything else. VR chat has a rating of red, which is intense. Can be played with You can play this with seated, but you need to do modifications to settings that I'm not going to go over. Then you have to think about you are moving a lot with locomotion on the controllers, which leads to a lot of motion sickness. It needs it needs accessible options. Also, just announced they just added the whole new age verification thing. Okay, and there's gonna be a lot of motion sickness with a 60 to 100% chance with all the movement around you are doing in VR chat. Remember, yes, you are your avatar. I also want to draw your attention to a video I made a few days ago about phantom sense and phantom pain, as well as a as well as cognitive brain development. If you guys want to learn about that, make sure you guys check it out in the description because our brains perceive things differently in VR. So if you want to learn about that, please watch that first. Then the idea of the game for these two. Tabletop Simulator. Easy. Play right away. Pre-install board games. Make your own. Play D&D right away. You do not. The only time you need to do something is if you want to make your own content, which is programming is required. But other than that, play right away. Play dominoes. Play chess. Play D&D. Play a custom game made by the community. It's all there for you right off the rip. With VR chat, it's more of a social experience first, making friends second, VR game world third. And you have to remember, what if your group is not interested? Then that takes out the game element right off the rip. Because it is a social experience first. Tabletop Simulator has social experience, but it's secondary because it's a game. You are playing in a game right off the rip. Here's another thing. If you don't see a game you like and should be on this list, let me know. I'll be happy to make a secondary commentary video based on games from the community featured. And if you disagree with my rankings, let me know as well. We all have different opinions in the comments, so let me know if you feel that some games should be on different rankings because this is based on what I feel as a brand new like VR owner. What I think what a VR owner should play first. And remember, we all have opinions, so let me know what you guys feel. Here's my takeaways for this particular video. Try the games in the first to third position. That includes the golf game. That includes that includes anything in the first to third. Fruit Ninja, those kind of games. Especially if you're brand new to VR for the first time. There are games for different types of gamers on this list. There might be one, two, or a few games to get started with. Don't start with the 10 to 9 position. The exception is that honorable mention because that one you can start with, it's just the price. If you buy it without a MetaQuest Plus. These require more movement from those with 8 to 1 on the list. I included those games for research purposes. Start slow, and this is important. This is the most important takeaway on this video. I really want to stress out. And I think everybody is stressing out over. Start slow. And I am absolutely meaning this. No joking. All joking aside. I mean, not no joking aside. No joke here. Start slow. Don't jump into VR and play for a straight 2 hours without taking a break. Your body, eyes, and brain needs time to process VR, and it's not going to happen overnight. Play for an hour, take a break, charge the thing, charge the headset, and play later or the next day. the last thing you need is motion sickness. Although a lot of content creators, when I'm learning about this for the first time, recommended VR chat as a game to start with in terms of social, I highly don't recommend it at the start with. Once you get used to it though, the VR as a whole, then you can play longer and go for moderate to intense experiences. If you guys want to learn more about the whole phantom sense and VR sensations, as well as the brain, how it processes VR and what we perceive as things, watch my commentary video on phantom sense and VR sensations, which will be in the description below. I think it's a good watch because it gives you an idea of how to understand VR, motion sickness, and all that. And that's all for now. So, my question for you for today: what's going to be your VR game? Your very first game? When you first put on the MetaQuest 3, the MetaQuest 3S, the MetaQuest 2 for some, or PSVR, what's going to be your first VR game? For me, I'm going to jump in and play some mini golf. Literally, play some mini golf. And I actually recommend that one just to try out for the first time. So let me know in the comments what's your first one. Or if you have been playing VR for a while, let me know what was your first game. I would love to know. That's all for now. Enjoy, as always, roll those critical hits, and we'll see you tonight for Mario. Enjoy, y'all.